you think it's dead or should be dead, David Goodhart?
Well, there's a rather strong sense of déjà vu about this debate. It seems to come up every few months. But multiculturalism is a very many-levelled concept, and I think when most people talk about multiculturalism, they mean the sort of soft multiculturalism of tolerance and equal rights and so on, and I think pretty well everybody in Britain signs up to that. Where things get more problematic is what one might call the hard multiculturalism, which emerged in the 80s and 90s, of actual positive promotion of separate religious and ethnic identities. I mean, the famous example is language, in a way. You know, do you teach people to speak English, or do you translate things into minority languages?
Do you make them speak English ineffectively?
Well, you offer them free language lessons, and you make it a condition of citizenship. Indeed, it already is. I mean, people have to pass language tests in order now to become British. So I think there is now a very strong consensus, which there wasn't in the 80s. I mean, the whole question of language was hugely problematic then and hugely debated. But I think there is now a huge consensus against what one might call hard multiculturalism, but still in favour of soft multiculturalism.
All right. Well, that's one example. Let's go to you, Professor Madood, and ask you the same question. Well, two, really. Do you think it's dead? And do you accept this distinction that David Goodhart outline between hard and soft multiculturalism?
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't think it's dead. I mean, it's obviously under considerable attack, and there's considerable confusion about what it is.
All right, a quick definition.
We'd have to distinguish it from, as it were, integration on an individual-by-individual basis, a society in which everybody's just an individual and new individuals are inserted or integrated into it. Well, that's not Britain. In fact, that's not any society, because the society has all kinds of groups and collectivities and what nowadays are referred to, using Edmund Burke's phrase, little platoons. So multiculturalism, then, is about integration, where you integrate groups as well as individuals into a society that already consists of groups as well as individuals. And then you have, as it were, two main challenges. One is, what if some of those groups are negatively perceived and negatively treated by the rest of the society? And this might be because they are new and people are unfamiliar with them, or it may be to do with legacies of colonialism and racism and so on. So you have to challenge the negative perception and negative treatment and turn it into something more positive that the group identifies with. And then the second challenge is how to remake our sense of the whole, the greater whole, the society, the country and so on, so that the new as well as the old have an equal sense of belonging.
Why should the old have their society remade if they take the view, as many do, that they rather liked it as it was?
Well, I mean, it's being remade anyway, but I think it's sort of slightly odd that Tariq defines multiculturalism as integration. I mean, I wish it was. I mean, unfortunately, multiculturalism, particularly the hard variant, has come to be seen as the opposite of integration. And the truth is, most people, including most members of minorities, believe in integration. They believe that everybody should learn English and work together and have a sense of common purpose. And I think historically, I mean, back in the 1950s, when the idea first emerged of kind of live and let live multiculturalism, it was actually partly a kind of liberal Tory ex-colonialist idea, as well as one taken up by the left. And it wasn't a bad idea. It said, people can come here and keep significant aspects of their own culture and find their own way to Britishness, find their own way to becoming part of this society. Right. And to some extent it worked, but we were very under-institutionalised on it, and we also didn't have a very clear idea of what Britishness was.